The first of the three
topic.
10 minutes or less presentations that I'll make is going to be on the commonalities that are there between Islam and Christianity, as I understand. That's a very important disclaimer, as I understand, right? The first, in my opinion, talking to Christians, and I'm sure talking to any other religious person belonging to other religious backgrounds, what I would like to say is that the first common point between us is that we have a strong yearning to know what the truth is.
I hope
If
so.
that's not there, there's no point in being a religious person. Honestly, we should be doing something else, playing baseball or something else. So the first common point I hope that we share is that we are dedicated to the cause of knowing what the truth is. Okay, the understanding is a bit vague, but the spirit is there. We want to know what's the truth. Number two, it's true in the case of Christians as well as all others that we have the same ancestors, thankfully. You know, Adam and Eve, and created by the same creator, our God Almighty. So I mean, don't underestimate this commonality. You know, it makes us feel closer to each other. What I feel that we have in common with Christianity in addition is that we both believe in one God. The understanding of that God has its own details where we might disagree. But our commitment to the understanding that the God is one and not several is what we share. And there is this understanding that we share that this life is not the only life, the only opportunity to exist that we have. After death, we do not perish. Instead, there is another life after this life, which I'm sure we both have in common. Then another important commonality that both traditions, faiths share is a very strong emphasis on morality. We both promote the cause of all humans to be morally upright, to make sure that all ethical, moral principles are acknowledged and they are taken seriously. So we get upset if people are immoral, and that is what concerns both traditions. In addition, what we share between us is that we have a strong, deep love and reverence for all those humans who were chosen by our Creator to guide human beings. We call them prophets. Sometimes they are referred to as messengers. In particular, I think both traditions have a very strong reverence, love, and respect for Abraham, followed by many other prophets, Moses, and we believe, and we'll talk more about it, Jesus to be amongst them as well. We have a very strong feeling of love, reverence, and respect for him, as well as his mother, Mary. We also share the understanding that Jesus was born miraculously. It didn't take the normal way of birth that happens to us mortals. Mary was a virgin, and she gave birth to Jesus, and this happened miraculously. Most of the stories that are mentioned in the Quran are the stories that are mentioned in the Bible, Old Testament. Some are referred to in the New Testament as well. So, all in all, when you talk about commonalities, we have a lot to share. And I think there is another important thing that both traditions share is that we are concerned about the growing tendency amongst people, particularly the youngsters, towards atheism. We would like people to be drawn towards God, the Creator, and to not just acknowledge Him, but lead a life wherein our God, our Creator, is at the very center of our thoughts, our prayers, and our different approaches towards life. So I think all these points together, I'll just mention them once again briefly. Strong yearning for the truth, same ancestors, same Creator. We believe in one God, both of us, and life after death. And there's strong emphasis on morality, deep love and reverence for prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus. Jesus was born miraculously to a virgin mother, Mary, and most stories of the Quran are the stories that are also mentioned in the Old Testament and the New Testament. That's all from me.
All right. So thank you for sharing that. You took all my points. So I naturally come in agreement with everything that you said. And so I think I will be a bit shorter because you already mentioned almost everything. But I will add the factor as well that both religion, we have a deep zeal for what we are believing. And I think, and you mentioned that in first, and it was one of my points also for today, that we have one truth and we want the truth. And so as for that, we put our belief in whatever we are believing and believing in what is the truth, and we are deeply engaged in that sense about that. So it's one community that we have also together. I can add as well that we, both religion, have the principle of prayer, of worshiping one God, and we are dedicated to that. So yeah, I think you already said everything. So
Okay.
yeah.